Most website providers will also provide email. However, it's not that great. So you either can work with what you have that they offer, which is typically a terrible online web only solution, or you can go to something like G Suite or Outlook and get a half decent email. Or what I'm really going to show you in this video is how to take that terrible email that your provider gives you, in this case SiteGround, which is local web marketing system, my company's favorite web host and provider for multiple reasons, how to take that email and how to put it in to an existing Gmail account or a new one you just made. So there are some disadvantages, such as receiving email can be slow because you have no control of how often it pulls it. The more emails you get, the faster Google decides to start pulling it. And I will show you a trick at the end how to pull email quicker if you're really in some sort of dire pinch, but most people realize that email is slow mail for a reason. People aren't usually dying to receive something instantly. Obviously, the sending out is instant. It's just the receiving can be a little slow. That's pretty much the only drawback I can see to this method. So in this case, you're going to need from your basic provider, you're going to need all of your information here. It's called secure SSL or TLS settings, so that way we can iterate an existing email. So what we do is we go into your Gmail, we go into settings, and then settings. So really that cog is called settings, and you have to pick settings, and then it's called accounts and import. Okay, you can see I've already set up several here, so I can send mail as and I can receive mail as. This is very important. So let's go ahead and start with checking mail from another account. So we're just adding a new account, and in this case you can see you're going to need your username and your password. I'm setting this up for a friend, so hopefully you won't mind that I'm making a video out of this. But this is my email, not my friend's. So sometimes it'll give you some options here. In this case, it's just forcing me to use POP. And it's important to remember that we use POP settings here. And most of the pre-fill information is incorrect. So now we go with our username. Then we go with our server, which happens to be, in this case, the exact same for either receiving or sending. And then we need our port. So remember, this is receiving that we were doing. So incoming server, and we're using POP. So 995 in this case. Okay. I don't like to leave a copy on the server because there's usually limited amount of space on the server. So I want to always use SSL if it will let me. It will yell at me if it won't. And then I like to label my email because I'm sharing an email. So that way when an email comes in that says marketing at, or whatever the email is in the very beginning, so I can clearly see which emails are personal versus business. And then I never archive, hit add account. I don't save any passwords here. And then now it's awesome that it's walking us right through to the next step, which is being able to send mail from that email. But if it didn't, you just go back to Gmail and then you'd hit add account under that section. So I'm going to just get next. I like to label the name. It should be your personal name. If you're setting up a personal email, obviously you can be like office email if it's info at, or whatever you like. Treat as an alias. Okay. And we're going now here to our outgoing settings. I wonder why they even bother pre-filling stuff. So 465, because it never ever pre-fills correctly. Not one time will it do that. In the myriads of times I've done this, it's never done that correctly. Okay, it will yell at us if we can't use SSL, so we're going to try it. Alright, so let's go learn our pull email trick. Don't save anything there. Just know this is a different tab we'll come back to in a second. So say we're going back to our email, and then we went to the accounts and imports. So if it's not showing up here, you just hit refresh, and then you should see marketing show up. And then if ever you're in a pinch to receive an email, you can see how long it's been since the last time it's pulled the email. So this email never receives mail, so it's like every 45 minutes to an hour it pulls. This email does receive email, so pulled it a minute ago, and this one receives even less than that, so it pulled it 31 minutes ago. And this only checked right when we first set it up, but now there's an email Gmail sent trying to verify that I actually have access. So I'm going to hit check mail now, and that's the secret to being able to check your email faster if you're in a dire pinch. I only know of how to do that on the desktop here. And so if we go back to our email, so if the email is newly created, which was in this case, it may take several hours before you can actually get the sync to work. And it's probably not on Gmail side, it's probably on your mail server side from the domain host. So in this case, we've gotten the confirmation email to come through. Let's just take this code, copy it, and we're going to go here. If it's taken too long, it will let you know, and then you just have to resend it. Okay. So in this case, I went to my other email and also sent a test email to this email to show that I can receive email here. And then, pretty neat. I'm able to see if people open emails through my CRM tool, HubSpot CRM. So a final thing to take a look at here. Under Settings, Account Import. If your email isn't, like in this case, shared with multiple emails, and you want to make every email appear as if it's being replied to from or sent from your @domain email, you'd come in here and you would say make default. Okay? But it appears with, at least with Gmail, the default is if you receive an email, like in this case, from somebody to that email, not only is it telling you right here that it's official business email, but if I hit reply, I can see that it's defaulting to the default I set in this account. But you can drag and drop here, or I mean like this drop down you can select. And so if you haven't ever picked a default, then honestly it would have just defaulted to that email and replying. So just check it your first time, make sure everything's kosher, and test 2, and then send a reply to somebody, make sure that they receive it. If that all works, then you're good to go. If you download the Gmail app, for instance, and just log in with your username and password, and save and send and receive an email and just verify that everything's kosher, then you're good to go as well. And just as a random side note, if you like to have a different email signature for a particular email, you just come in here after you go to settings, and then you pick the email, and then you put a different signature in here and hit save. Okay? So hopefully that was helpful.